Hey guys, how's it going? Ricky Widmer here from Most Valuable Podcast, here to give you my must-starts or guys that I love heading into week number 14 in fantasy football. And we're finally here. You're either in two spots right now. You're either this is the week where your fantasy team made the playoffs, you start the playoffs, who do I need to win round one? Or, like one of my leagues, this is your last week and you're still fighting that one last week to get a playoff spot. Either or. These are the guys that I think are going to have good games, good big. They're going to help your team in the playoffs or get into the playoffs at this point. Let's get right into it. The first guy going up against the Cleveland Brown defense is Shaun Drone. And if I'm saying that name wrong, I apologize. Niner fans, correct me down below. I'm just pronouncing it how I heard the announcers pronounce it, because the game that I could watch when I couldn't watch Red Zone, because it's only on a few TVs in my home, whenever I went to the kitchen to eat, I had to watch the Bears game. So they kept saying Shaun Drone. However, Drone's going to have a big game this week, I feel like, against the Browns. The Browns not that good of a team. And Jeremy Hill, what he was able to do this past week against the Browns, I feel like Shaun can do the exact same thing. So if you need a running back, I know my pickups video this week didn't have any running backs. This is a guy that if for some reason no one has snatched him up at this point, go ahead and get him. And if you have him, start him this week. Number 4, I know that if you go on ESPN, it says for the opponent rank, a little red number, and it says that the Ravens are going to be a tough opponent for this guy. But Thomas Rawls, Raleigh Rawls here, I'd go ahead and start him. He's had great games the past 3 times out. Had another good fantasy performance against the Vikings. The Vikings, a defense that doesn't like to give up points this season. They gave up a ton to this Seattle offense. Seattle's cooking right now. And if you have Rawls, put him in the starting lineup. This team scores with Rawls. They score with Baldwin. They score with Curse. They have a lot of weapons. Rawls is going to get at least 1 touchdown in this game. And at number 3, the position's easy. We're staying with the running back. I'm going with Jonathan Stewart. The reason being, the Falcons may be, this is, if Mark is true, Mark Weber here at MVP, if he's right, this is a trap game for the Panthers. However, the run game is going to have to be big if the Panthers want to win. Jonathan Stewart has kind of been, I'm going to say, kind of like resurged this season. It's kind of been like a resurgent type year for Jonathan Stewart. He's had a good season. Maybe it's because he doesn't have D'Angelo Williams and they're not splitting carries and he's the main guy, but I feel like Stewart's going to have a big game because Cam Newton, let's be honest, not going to have another 5 touchdown performance. Still going to be good, but not 5 touchdown good. And Stewart is going to have to take some pressure off of Cam. And then the last 2 are quarterbacks. At number 2, I've got Tyrod Taylor. The Eagles' defense, yes, they won. However, the past, I want to say 3 quarterbacks that they have played have thrown a ton. Winston, Stafford, Brady, all of them, I want to say, had at least 5 touchdowns in their games. I want to say, you know what, Brady had like 3. I want to say Brady had 3 touchdowns, but still had a great fantasy performance. Tyrod Taylor going up against the Eagles, he's going to have his chances, and it looks like Sammy Watkins is a little bit better now. He's on the up and up. However, check out my sleepers video for what I think of Sammy Watkins. But yeah, Tyrod Taylor has the potential to be a big threat in this game. I'd start him if I had him. I would definitely start him if I had him. And number 1, Cam Newton just threw for 5 touchdowns on this team. This is a team that loves to give up points to the quarterback. The Saints, that's Jameis Winston. The Buccaneers going up against the Saints. Winston, hey, he threw for 5 touchdowns against the Eagles. He can do the same this week against the Niners. I feel like famous Jameis going to have a big game for Tampa Bay. And if you start Jameis Winston, he will be the main reason that you win your first round playoff matchup. But that's going to do it for my must-starts / love 'em list here for fantasy football heading into week 14. Let me know down below. Anyone that you love, do you have any fantasy questions? Let me know. You can also hit me up on Twitter. I love answering your fantasy questions. I helped you get to the playoffs. Now it's my goal to help you win your playoffs. Let's win a championship together. So let me know, what players are you liking? If you have any questions, like I said, hit me up in the comment section. Also, remember that we're going for the quest for 500. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, comment down below. If we hit 500 by the end of the year, we'll be giving out a signed sports game of the winner's choice. But you got to sub and you got to comment in order to win the game. So make sure you do both of those things. I want to thank you guys for checking out this video. And as always, have a good day, everybody.